G'day guys, welcome to another van review, and this van is a van that we've done before, but there's a few subtle nuances in the 2026 Sirocco Grande compared to what we had on the 2024, and we had such a beautiful time in that van. It was the beginning of our second big trip. We took it from Brisbane all the way across the Nullarbor into Margaret River and then over into Perth. So we're going to point out a few of the subtle differences, plus there's a really big difference on this one as well. But we're here at One Tree Hill, which is a beautiful property about 10, maybe 15 Ks, maybe 10 Ks to 15 minutes out of Bow Desert on the Rathdowney Road. If you're a local, we call it the Rathdowney Road, or the road towards Coralbin, whichever one you want to take. But it's a beautiful property here. I think there's only 5 campsites, and these campsites are literally big enough to fit 3-4 vans. So, you know, you could have your whole family or collective of friends come to here. The guy that owns it, whose name is Guy, and his beautiful family, they rescue animals, racehorses, cows, sheep, goats, you name it, they've got it. So beautiful place to bring your kids. We really love it. You'll find it on Hip Camp. Our beautiful daughter-in-law comes here and takes photos of families or engagement photos and that sort of thing are here as well. Anyway, enough about One Tree Hill, although it is pretty amazing. Watch out for the cow poo, maybe. We're going to go and do a whip around of this van, and then we're going to come to that really big talking point. So, as we've seen roll through the Sirocco Grande, right through from the beginning of the Sirocco, which literally was the van, I reckon, that made Jawa what it is today. I think it won Hybrid Camper of the Year in 2021. Anyway, you'll see a single span, unlike most of the vans. You're also going to get 2 big jerry can holders, which, depending on how you're balancing your ball weight, and everybody packs slightly differently, so I'm going to leave that one with you, but 2 big jerry can holders on the back here, in the absence of a second spare, gives you an opportunity to get some weight up the back here if you need to. Now, one of the things I love about this new model is there's a little Easter egg here, little drawbar tap sitting off the back drawbar, where you know, I like my drawbar taps on the front, but it's one of those things whether you don't really know you need it until you've got it, and it's like, oh sweet, you don't have to go into the van to get access to water when you're covered in mud and stuff like that. Now really quickly, we've got a full length tunnel boot here. Oh, that's a little bit of a reveal, but anyway, I'll show you that again in a little bit more detail soon. And then you've also got your plug-in under here for your soft panel, which is fed to another Victron 30M MPPT, giving you, more charges, better efficiency when you're really needing power. Mind you, there's 800 watts of Arizon solar on the roof of this, and to be really honest, it's top quality gear. So unless you're going to be using the aircon, literally I'd be using a plug-in then, but you don't really need to travel with one unless you've got super high power usage. So let's keep moving here, maybe. Oh, she's pointing out things that I forgot. Subtle difference in this, and I'm a real fan of this, and I reckon Mavey's a real fan on this as well. What I'm pointing to are these really subtle Jawa decals. You'll see on the side of the van a difference from what they've had in previous models as well. But I like the fact that the guys, even though it's their traditional colour in that bright orange, I like the fact that they've gone to these nice, a little bit more discreet, a little bit more sophisticated decals. So thumbs up to Jack and the guys down in Sydney that do all of the decals. Quickly, maybe I'll just get you to give it a side profile. I like the contrast in colours. We've got the sort of the matte grey at the back here. We've got the white, and the decals just pull through really nicely. It's a little bit like a stormtrooper. I don't know, if you're into Star Wars, you know what I'm talking about. On this van, and you'll see rolling through the models now, you've got the option of that van line style, what do you call this? A clothesline. Let's slip down on my head for a second. Or you can get the kick-ass shower tent there. It really just depends on how you're going to use your van. To be really honest, we use a clothesline way more already than we ever have in all of the vans that we've had. The shower tent. You'll see a rope up here, and I'll point that out in a lot more detail. Why? Don't worry about that too much. What do we got here? We've got an outdoor shower still, so Interestingly enough, when we had our Commander at the beach recently, we were still using the shower on the side of the van, particularly because we had our little grandson, just to rinse our feet off and all of that sort of thing. So it's not necessarily needing to be deleted if you're not going for the shower tent, because it is really handy for a quick rinse off. Got our toilet cassette here, that's not really exciting. Got a little 15 amp inlet there for your mains power when you're connected to grid power, and you've got your Truma instantaneous AquaGo hot water system. Maybe was saying about this again this morning when she was doing the washing up, because that's her job. Anyway, it just works. It just works. You turn it on, you literally 5 seconds after you've switched on, go and turn the hot water and you've got instant hot water. Those of you who have a storage hot water system in a caravan would know that it's a little bit annoying having to wait 20-30 minutes for the water to heat up. In here, we've got a big
box
tunnel boot. Yeah. When we had the Black Betty, which was the last van review that we did, somebody didn't clean out the tunnel boots very well when he returned it back to Jawa, and so then that van went to Townsville, and then Matty up in Townsville was a legend and sent everything back to us. But big enough, doesn't run all the way through. It's got our mat. I don't know what else is in there.
I think that's about it.
That's about it. And this box, which has all our pegs and ropes and that sort of thing in there. In the front here, we've got a generator slide, if I can unlock it. And you can see that we're not running the generator. We've got our fire pit in here. There's a handy little table if you want to use that. As you know, in our Commander, we've actually deleted the generator slide, put a washing machine mounted in here. Some people are like, oh, you got to bend over to do it. Well, yeah, you do. We like it. Just really quickly, I always forget about these electric actuators. So we know that the Sirocco Grande is a pop top, but it's literally just a quick button to press to get these up and down. Within about 10-15 seconds, they're up and ready to go.
Water points, darling.
Oh, I forgot about the water. I take things for granted these days. 2 independently filled and independently pumped 105 litre water tanks. I love the independently filled water tanks, as you've seen in my other videos probably, because it means you can use these if you are looking at balancing weights, not too much on the ball, not too much on the back of the van, because we know that creates sway. You can utilize these water points if you're not needing to fill both of your tanks up, just to get your balances right. If you've got your van packed pretty well, you're probably not going to need to worry about that, but it is an option if you need to. The other thing here, we've got another grey water tank, a grey water tank, 80 litre grey water tank. I love the fact and most grey water tanks don't have this side access to it. You can get a hose in there and just rinse it out, because grey water can get a little bit stinky, especially if you've got as much hair as maybe gets into the tank, and then it just stinks. And this is your mains water inlet here as well. Have I forgotten? Oh, beautiful big blacked out windows. Again, just what you see on every single Jawa, so you kind of forget about these things, but they're there. At the daytime, you can't really see through them. Just got to be careful at night time if you're running around in the nude with the light on, because you can actually see straight through them. All right, over here, got double jerry can holders in the front here. Again, we're only out for a few days, so you really don't need to fill these up. I mean, I don't know when you're going to need that much water or that much diesel, but anyway, they're there. Ideally, if you're looking for some weight reduction, there's 4, they look like 19 mil, or maybe only 10 mil roofing screws there. Pull them out, a few beads of silicone at the bottom, and then you've got a nice open tunnel boot. Oh, I don't necessarily think you need to carry 4 jerry cans, but anyway, who am I to tell people what to do? In here, gas bottles, pretty straightforward. And over here, another great big tunnel boot, similar to that one on this side, but in here you've also got your diesel tank. Holds about 8 or 9 litres for your e-dispatcher diesel heater, which I'll show you on the inside. I'll take that off so I don't stab myself. Now let's look at this drawbar really quickly. Again, anybody that's seen most of our videos would know that all of this kit is stock standard, but we'll start over here. We've got another drawbar tap. Super handy, particularly if you need to wash your hands while you're driving along the highway, or you've had lunch and you've got, you know, barbecue sauce running down your hands, or beetroot juice or something like that after you've had a big Works Burger at the servo, but anyway, I like Works Burgers. DO35 hitch. We've got our piggyback, I guess, which could run to the car for the rear camera. Forgot to show you the Polaris reversing camera on the back of the van. Anyway, this is where it bungees into your car. Handbrake, pretty straightforward. Breakaway cable, pretty straightforward. All your common leads. 750 extreme off-road jockey wheel. Again, there's lots of talk about jockey wheels. This just works. So we've had them on every single Jawa we've had. I reckon this is a van number 21 or 22, and it just works. So I don't know why anybody would want to do anything differently. What have I missed? Oh, we've got a gas bayonet here as well for your barbecue. I'd grab a barbecue arm, run the clamp there if you're wanting to run the barbecue off the side of the van here. Let's keep rolling. Now, one thing about One Tree Hill, and we're on the Grey Gum site here, and we didn't really think about this, is the sheer slope on this site. So as you can see, I am a long way lower. If I need to wash up, I'm quite high here. That's not a problem with the van, that's a problem with this slope. But whatever, it's fun. Mavy's got longer arms than me. So in here, standard Evercool Series 2 down under, dual zone, 96 litre fridge, freezer, fridge. I think I got it right that time. We haven't got it on because, like, literally there's another fridge in the van, plus we've got a fridge in the car. So I know Mavo drinks a lot, but we don't really need to run that one. All this just set up as per standard on nearly every single Jawa, with room for pots and pans and all your cooking utensils and that sort of thing. Put that back in, close them down. All right, so we've got our pantry. It's a little bit smaller than what we're used to on the Commander, but remembering that Commander's a hard top, so gives you a lot more profile on the side of the van, but still quite adequate. I mean, we just put stuff in here for the sake of putting stuff in here. We don't really need it this weekend, but for the purpose of the demonstration. One of the things I do like about the Grande, I think you see this in the Retreat as well, is you've got these handy drawers, just in case you're running anything that you're a little bit worried about moving around. As you can see, we've got a glass olive oil bottle up there, hasn't moved at all on the drive in.
G'day guys, welcome to a bit of a break in the video, and the reason that there's a bit of a break is because the weather came in really hard while we were trying to record the setup of this amazing new rugged 4x4 awning. So what we're going to do now is transition to the following weekend, where we got an opportunity to shoot a really thorough overview of the setup of this amazing rugged awning. We actually have found it way better than we thought it was going to be, particularly when you compare it to other awnings that we've used over the past few years. So sit back and relax. We're now going to get into that really comprehensive overview, and I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to set up and pack up, and just all the amazing features and the absolute coverage that it gives you. So get into it and enjoy it.
All right, welcome to a bit of an explainer on how to use this rugged awning. We're going to do it relatively quick, one because it is quick, and two because we're doing it as a reel. So we've got the awning already set up, and we've also pulled out these telescopic legs. In the YouTube video, we'll give you a bit more detail on this, but let's see how quick this is. Awning's already been unzipped, the bag's been flipped over the top. What I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to whack this guy rope on here ready to go, because that's what's going to tension the awning up. I'll undo each of these Velcro tags. I'll undo this one here, and we'll do one more over here. I'd pull that over, but I'm just going to climb up here and do it myself like this. And we're already free. Now quickly, maybe, before I concertina it out, you will see that the front of the awning sits on the outside when it's packed away. Back of the awning sitting at the back. It's going to be the exact opposite when you put it back in. So back in first, front in last. I'm going to wrap this one around. I'm quickly just going to tension it off there, and I'll show you what I'll do with that in a second. Trying to do this all by myself because it is something that you can do by yourself. A little bit easier when you do it with two people, but maybe he's busy being my camera woman at the moment, so it's just me. I'm going to wrap this around. Come around with me maybe this time. Pull it through. And we're already starting to see the awning take shape. Now, the guys in Jawa, if you order this awning, are actually going to be putting some tie-down points on this lip here where the lid goes down. There's none on this particular van, so I'm just going to do this for demonstration purposes. And I'm going to roll this through behind the thingos. You won't need to do this normally. Can you hold this? Oh, you can't hold it.
I can't hold it. Hang on.
Sorry, Maeve's camera warming. I'll just put it there.
Yeah, good idea.
All right. I actually had the awning. I'll undo that. What we're really trying to do here is pull these bows as tight as we can. Normally we're just going to ratchet it up here, but I haven't got those tie down points. Now, some people may be watching me do this and be thinking, you know what, why don't you just run it down to the tyre or somewhere where you can get leverage. The reason I'm not doing that is simply because you don't want too much downforce on these ropes. You want them to stay up high, because I have seen with these awnings before where if you have it pulling down, that side bow is just going to get decimated. So what I'm going to do now that we've got it tensioned is I'm just going to pull it as tight as possible and leverage. And that is what makes a freestanding awning stay up. So, what's our time so far? Maybe you reckon?
3 minutes 24.
3 minutes 24. Ratchet's not working very well in this. Alright, so nice and tight. Might just tighten this end up a little bit more.
And I'll show you.
Now it looks really good. We've got some wind here today, but we've sort of landed the van in the right direction. As you can see, she's nice and tall, but knowing that the wind's coming from this direction, we've actually got 6 legs in this kit. I'm not going to install all 6. Let me show you how to install a leg. So you will see just a little latch on here. You're going to line it up with the bracket and slide this pin through, which will lock it into position. Knowing that we're getting a bit of wind from here, I'm going to put this one in. I'm a short ass. Taller people would probably be able to do this without a step. And you'll see me fiddle around a little bit. There we go. So she's locked into position. Then, like a normal screw tighten peg, drop that in. Get your height right. How's my height?
Good.
Good. And I'm just going to tighten her off. And that's as hard as it is. Then I'm going to run a guy rope from the little loop here down to the ground into my tie gear straps, and should be nice and tight. And I'm going to repeat it 1, 2, 3, 4, knowing that the wind is going to capture this side. And lastly, if you do have some really bad weather, which I'm not really expecting tonight, it's actually a fine day for once, is you can pull these V channels down here as well, rope them off down to the ground, and every single panel has a nice V to have the rainwater run off. So I reckon that's been about 2.5 minutes. I had a little bit of pre-prep done, like getting my ropes out and getting the legs ready to go, but seriously, it's that easy. I need my massively over-engineered tie gear pegs. Like, these are epic. I reckon you could almost mount a permanent structure off it and pass council approval. And we're going to rope these off, which is super easy. So, out to an angle. Yeah, get the rope. I need a step. If only I was like 3 or 4 inches taller, or I had arms like maybe, it'd be so much easier. Snap this on. Grass is getting in the way. Taut her off. It's going to repeat it for the other ropes, and Bob's your uncle. All right, so next morning, and we're packing up this awning. What I've done, a little bit of pre-prep, I've just taken the legs out really quickly. It's really windy, or not super windy constantly, but big gusts at the moment. So we're actually risking it at the moment with our legs taken out, but still got the ropes in place. I just trotted a massive cow turd. Anyway, as soon as we take the tension off this, maybe's going to go to the front. I'm going to go to the back because we've got to concertina this thing in and get it out of the wind. Luckily, the main bows aren't getting impacted by the wind, but it took about a minute to pull the pins, pack my ropes up, my poles up, and they're just over there maybe on the back of the car, ready to go. So we're going to drop these ropes. We're going to then take the main tension rope that's on the back of the van out and wrap it around and show you how to pack it up. Let's go.
Way.
Yeah.
Stepped in cow poo.
We don't advise pulling ropes in the wind, but we've got to get out of here, so
Maybe bring that one around first,
you got to do both
Yeah.
because the tension's off it. So as you can see, in about, I don't know, 15 seconds, when you pull that main tension rope off, luckily the wind's coming from behind the van. We sort of know how to set a van up these days, knowing which way wind's going to go. You can never truly tell which directions. Now, quick to point out, you know how I said the opposite yesterday? Front rafters or bows are going to be the ones that go in at the end, whereas these rear ones are going to go hard up against the fascia. So making sure you've got them split. This wind is not helping me. I'll just take this rope off now. So I've got that there. Maybe if you can, or I'll do it myself, one or the other. It's really hard to film this at the same time. Now we're almost at the pack up point. I'm going to quickly pull this rope off. Wish I was just a little bit taller. So now that we've got everything sort of pushed in, and this is where it maybe becomes a two-person job, what we're going to do is roll this fabric up, and it's really hard maybe. I'm going to need your help.
Okay.
But you can see the point where we've got it here. I'm also going to need a step or a ladder just to do this final piece. Roll. I recommend you get this middle two done up first. So Velcro over the top, ratchet it up, and she's going to link up really nicely. Some of the time it can be a little bit hard to find those knuckles. What I like about this is it's actually a D link here rather, oh, way too far. So you'll notice that there's less material here where there's a lot more material here. That is that end. So I'm going to pull this side over and then we'll go and do this end. I'm a little, yeah, just again, get it all nicely folded, whack her in. And effectively, once again, Bob is your uncle. So that was a minute or two of me mucking around. Probably didn't need Mavy's help in the end. All she did was get me my little ladder. But it's not a hard pack up. If you're a little bit older than us, maybe need to add a little bit more time. And I think there's one other thing that I want to point out. Lots of people that have got the high roof, the solid top vans, so the Tawaris, the Commanders, the Retreats, think about how hard this is. I'm using a ladder. This is a pop top. Think about how hard it is if your awning's mounted higher where they're traditionally mounted on those. And that's the main reason the Jawa are reluctant to do these types of awnings on the full length vans, simply because you'd almost need to carry a fairly good sized ladder with you. So I would say that it's achievable, but as you've just seen, you require a bit of gear to be able to pack these up quickly. You could do it. You could do it slowly. If you're taller than us, Mavy's arms are longer than mine, so she could probably have done it without this two-step. But yeah, it just makes it life easier. And as you can see, it didn't take very long at all to pack up. This is where it gets just a little bit harder because there's more material there. So you got.
It doesn't help when the table's down.
Also doesn't help when you're fucking chore. So much easier. Bob's your uncle. Job's done. Now you got to take those pegs out of the ground, maybe. We'll get onto the inside of the van with the Mavy to have a look around there. Here's the little Mavy.
Okay, so welcome to the inside of the Sirocco Grande. So you will notice that this is very, very similar to what we did a review on last time when we were traveling. However, there is a little point of difference in this Sirocco Grande. It has a microwave. So, and also queen size bed, very generous size queen size bed. I have king linen on this bed. It just gives you a little bit more length and width.
She likes length and width.
Also in the van, you've got a 110 litre Dometic stand-up fridge, which I absolutely love, as you know, and an abundance amount of storage. So we have so much storage in here that Ant and I aren't even using all of it during our stay in the Sirocco Grande. But check it out. These ones are all empty. We have learnt how to pack quite well and light, but if you are traveling full time, it's a perfect amount of storage space. In here we're storing our clothes and utilising the good old Kmart storage baskets for our clothes. I just find that that makes it so much easier to grab your things in and out. Towels, bits and pieces, toiletries, a couple of shoes. However, I think you could actually store your shoes down in this drawer or cupboard if you were traveling full time. These drawers here are very generous in size, so they would be great for your socks and your underwear. And then under here, these are just little cupboards for the pump access and all that kind of stuff. Then, while we're down here, you have a secret little compartment under the dinette as well. So that's great for storing away things that you don't need often. So like your wallet or some games, some card games, whatever. And then behind me, we have this huge drawer, which a couple of the vans have these drawers. Ant and I find it really handy for storing our Starlink. So, but you could store heaps of stuff in there. It would be great for your shoes.
430 packs of cans.
Oh.
Yep. They'd fit in there neatly.
Anyway, moving right along. Gorgeous little dinette. And the one thing that we love about this dinette is that in this van it actually seems wider than our Commander, and I think that's purely down to the table space that it gives you. So obviously you would level that out by adjusting the height of the leg. However, I'm just going to pop it away for the purpose of the video, but it's a great little table and a great little space to sit at. Demonstrate.
It's well designed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
Do you want to sit across from it? We can stare into each other's eyes.
Sure.
a
give
cup
you
of
the-
tea, please.
Give you the evil eye. Okay, so moving right along, we also have the cute little toilet shower combined. And I know a lot of you don't want a combined toilet shower, but then if you don't go with combined toilet shower, you lose a lot of your cupboard space.
You do.
So keep that in mind. Slower. So cute little basin here, and then you've got some cabinetry around the corner as well that you could store some goods in. I'm not sure whether it's waterproof, so I wouldn't be storing your toilet paper in here, but it's got a cute little drawer and a 2-shelf cupboard. I think you would be safe to store things on this one, but quite possibly not the bottom shelf.
Depends on how much water gets in.
Yeah. So there you have it. Now, just trying to remember all the little bits and pieces. So
This is my back section.
yeah, you've also got 2 Sirocco fans, or they're like Sirocco fans in the van. So you've got one here near the dinette, and then you've also got one over at the bedside here. And you've got ample GPO ports and phone charging ports in here too.
Yeah, actually.
So you've got some here next to the dinette, and then you've also got some down there beside the bed. You've got a cute little shelf down there.
A secret compartment too.
Yeah. And then you've got some over here in the corner on that side. A nice little bed light which comes in handy for when Ant wants to run to the toilet. I can turn the light on so he doesn't fall over, and then I can turn it off right at my head. What else have we got?
Got a new air conditioner.
Oh yeah.
I actually think it looks really sleek. It fits in nicer. Doesn't drop down quite as much as the other ones. So
Yeah.
we haven't tested it because it's cold. You can see we're wearing jumpers, but yeah, something a little bit different.
Yeah. So I'll pass over to Ant and he can talk around the electrics of the inside of the van.
So one of the things that you would have seen in our last video, if you watched our 2024 Sirocco Grande, which was the first of the platform, it was still a prototype that we had, battery used to be under the bed. Now the battery being under the bed, as you saw Mabo demonstrate before, we've now got that beautiful pull-out drawer, which moves the battery to the back of the van. And quickly, before I show you where all that's located, your control panel here is really easy access. You'll see that you've got your Victron control panel here. You can switch your inverters on and off from here. I'll quickly do that. Go into inverter, overview, levels. I've forgotten how to use it, it's been that long. Levels, that gives us our water tank levels, gives us any alerts. We don't need any alerts. Quickly, just want to get in there. There we go. I'm going to switch the inverter off because we don't need it right now. Set. Job's done. Inverter off. Save a bit of power while we're off grid. You've also got your internal controls for your hot water system and your control unit for your e-dispatcher diesel heater. Everything's easy to get to, your resettable fuses and all of your switches. And then what's nice about this is you can close it up at night time and you haven't got the glow if you're not going to turn your control panel completely off. Mavo mentioned the GPOs. There's another one at the back here. And one of the things that you're going to see in the Sirocco Grande that isn't in here, like you would see in some of the premium and the hardtop vans, is an induction cooktop. Now I've got the microwave at the front there. We've got a 4-burner hob. We carry a portable induction burner. I think it cost us like $120 from the Good Guys. It's a Tefal brand. Does its job really well, but the battery system in this is huge. Heaps of solar on the roof. Use this as bench space when you're not using your portable induction, or you pull your portable induction out, pop it there. Super handy GPO ready to go, and this becomes a cooking space. So I don't know whether it's an advantage, to be honest, because in our Commander we've got the dual induction cooktop. You can't really chop veggies and stuff on that, or you can't put heavy stuff on there because you might be worried that you crack the glass. So I don't know, I actually like the fact that you can portably carry a cooktop, chuck her in the cupboard when you're not using it, and then use this as more bench space. Anyway, horses for courses. Let's have a look in here. This is the important part. So, quickly. And one of the things I had to do last night, because the inverter screen, Victron gear is super high quality, but those screens do have a tendency to freeze and glitch out from time to time. So I had to get in here last night and quickly just pull the HDMI cable out the back and then reset the control panel. So much easier in this model than when all that gear used to be underneath the bed, because yeah, it's a nightmare holding the mattress up and trying to muck around with things. So I do like the fact that all this is at the back. In here we've got a 460 amp Horizon lithium battery, all cased up and vented to the outside per the gas regulations. And then you can see all of the Victron charging components, your big 3000 watt combi inverter with 120 amp AC charger, and access to all your fuses, buzz bars, all of that sort of stuff is just in here. Easier, way easier to access than when it's jammed in cupboards or underneath beds and that sort of thing. So amazing power setup in this van, and as I said, it's sort of, I reckon this is like the Swiss Army knife of vans. Pop top roof can get it into more places. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles in terms of built into it, but you can simply plug in an induction burner and you've got exactly the same layout as you've got in a Retreat or a Commander. You've got this beautiful dinette that I just, yeah, it's a winner. I think this is what drew people to the Sirocco in the first place, way back in 2021. You'll now see this modelled into the Retreats as well. It just works really, really well. Last thing, guys, just in terms of suspension, off-road capability, we're running full levels, shocks and springs underneath. We've also got Japanese bearings, and everything's laser wheel aligned when it leaves the factory, plus off-road brake magnets in the hubs. So the guys at Jawa do spend a lot of time when they're building these vans out in Sydney or Caloundra up on the Gold Coast, making sure that they're proper off-road and they are up to spec as the best possible that you can before they leave the factory. So I don't know, maybe do you reckon we've covered everything?
I think so.
I think
and
we
if
have.
not,
As always, guys, hit us up in the comments, hit us up with questions, jump on our socials if you can't find us. We always do our best to get back to everybody. It may not be same day, but we'll definitely get back to you. Hope you love this 2026 variant. Oh, last thing, significant price drop recently in the soft top vans, simply because the guys have got greater buying power with some of the factories. Instead of keeping that extra money in their pocket, they've rolled the discounts onto the purchaser. So check out the price points. We're not going to mention it because they change from time to time. Videos stay up for a long time. Jump on Jawa's website, you'll get all of the specs and maybe even some of the photos that we've taken this weekend. Cheers, guys. See you out there. Have a great time.